Hi, Suros Minahan, Talk Cosmos host. This is the 10-minute astrological commentary. Every Saturday, now it's going to Sundays, we're having an hour panel conversation. Today is March 1st, 2021, and I'm speaking about Nicolas Sarkozy. France and the United States have a similar situation. Two past presidents really undergoing a lot of legal difficulties. Now, in Nicolas Sarkozy, he was sentenced Monday. The Paris court said guilty of corruption and influence peddling. There were wiretaps as of 2013. This has been going on for years. He pulled strings to help a judge, his friend, obtain a prestigious job in Monaco. And in exchange, the bribe was to relieve Sarkozy from a criminal investigation because of illegal campaigning and financing in 2007 and 2012. What a precedence for presidents. I guess who says presidents can't go to prison? It's really a theme of the karmatic, it could be karma. I mean, we just left a lot of Capricorn and Pluto is still in Capricorn. And the morality, not just on a signature basis, but a true depth comes to light. And I'll show some charts. So he was sentenced for 3 years, but he will serve 1 at house arrest with a bracelet. However, it's the first time that France has ever sentenced a person to jail. It's a big deal. And his co-defendants, the lawyer that he had, Herzog, he's in jail, and the former judge, the magistrate, Azabert, he also is in jail. They found were guilty and handed their sentences. So there are other cases that were coming up. Even if he does appeal, he violated financing rules. He didn't disclose the PR costs of his campaign. And more importantly, he invited Gaddafi from Libya, who hadn't been there for 35 years, tremendously objected by both parties, but he did anyway, and who brought, supposedly, we'll find out, suitcases of millions of euros. You're supposed to declare euro monies. They're supposed to be just so much from an individual and absolutely not from a foreign country. It totally denies and breaks down all the liberation and the freedom of the nations that are looking to represent the people. And France has this along with it. So things are going to find out what has happened. It's most interesting. Now, he left the scene. He thought he could be, although he didn't declare it, another to run in 2022. But with this political issues over him, the accounting is no, it's not going to happen. And he is said, and I'll show you here with his charts, to have a volatile temper. And yeah, and you can see here what this is actually today's chart with his, and this is an AA Rodden astro.com. Give this an AA, that he was born January 28th, 1955 at 10 p.m. at Paris. You can see that his conjunction with his moon in Aries next to its ruler is in the 7th house. So he could be angry with others as he's going forward and if it gets stopped. And that Chiron and Ceres, the asteroids that have grief and loss and pain, are conjuncted. So this is a difficult stopping point for him just by itself in this chart. Also, you have the nodes reaching the south node, which is releasing, saying that maybe his values need to be recognized differently. Well, Monday was also a big day for Mr. Trump, the ex-president, Donald Trump. His tax returns and related records were turned over to Manhattan District Attorney Vance. And the Supreme Court denied Trump's last-ditch effort to keep them out of their hands. He'd also been trying to do this for years. And these are tax returns spanning from January 2011 to 2019, financial statements, engagement agreements, documents relating to preparation and review of tax returns, which will show a lot of the mindset of what the strategy was, and work papers, communications relating to tax returns. It's a big trove of information to be looked at. And the public won't see it because they're subject to grand jury secrecy rules. But it's been a 17th month quest with a lot of denials. Although for many years, if we remember, Trump said, can't do it. They're being audited. No. It seems that the truth in some ways is being evident. And amazingly, I had pulled up, was there a relationship between Sarkozy and Trump? Because right now we have two presidents that are undergoing possible, well, one has been declared guilty, and the one in the United States is an ongoing event with more information surely to come. So what came up was the wife to Sarkozy, who was an actress, a model, just like Trump's Melania's wife. And there had been an issue in 2011 where it was said, oh, they have an affair. This is before she married Sarkozy, I believe. And that's why Trump divorced his second wife. Well, she says, total lie, didn't happen, which is so interesting to think that in some ways, and this link is associated with women, because another issue that the Supreme Trump denied between hearing was one about Stormy Davis. So that'll have to go to other courts. But there had been, before he was elected, quite an issue about the women who felt, and even evidence that he talked about abusing women sexually. So I think and we will look at his chart. Let's see if I can pull that up. Here's the two men, and you can see that they have quite a few things in common as far as energies in different areas. But they both, Trump's Mars is right on the same as Nicholas's thinking of his regenerative power and manipulative, the shadow side of this, it's true. And also here you have Nicholas's Venus with Trump's moon and south node. And that's more evident of saying the philosophy, the values of Sarkozy, and the moon inherited ideas and our beliefs, the belief structures could have great similarities. Also, if you see up here, there is another Venus signature where Trump has his connected to his Saturn. So that's your ideals and your, not ideals, but your values that you are attracted to. And with the structure of life in that protective Cancerian thought is a personal, is conjunct Sarkozy's sense of independence and his philosophy. So the two men have quite a bit, you could say, of similarities that way. So Cy Vance is investigating of New York Trump and the organization about tax fraud, insurance fraud, schemes to defraud, and false information. That's just the tip of the iceberg with the theories. And they are going to subpoena the employees at the creditors, the Deutsche Bank that gave him $3 million, another organization that gave him $100 million. Did I say 300 million, not $1,000 million? Ladder Capital. And some of that was as a consultant to his daughter, Ivanka. As I perhaps said or didn't, the court did not rule on listening to Stormy Daniels. She has another allegation. And maybe that's the tip of the iceberg, because Sarkozy's wife happened to come out in the news to say, it was a lie. I was never with Trump in 2011, as alleged. He he said they were, but never, never, never. And she had declined it back then. And I thought it was interesting that here you have these two men who have similar situations. They were past presidents. Their allegations as far as their financial and their strategies, and they married these ex-models. And the one model said she was actually attached to the second, and but it has about females. And we know that there's been some allegations in many ways about that with Trump. That would be Carla Bruni. Now, all of this, I think, is also indicated by the Golden Globes. I mean, the Globes liked Nomadland. That is grief, as it was brought out again and again. And that the other one was also about The Crown. If we look at these huge disparities of civilization, of not civilization, but of our social structures, where we have the haves and the have-nots, it's evident. And here we have these two political ex-presidents, who perhaps the accusation, and one has been proven to be guilty on one terms, of violating the best interest of people. So the Globes maybe had a good commentary, and well, not, I mean, it's one picture of society. And Chloe Zhao, who was the best drama film director, said that it was a pilgrimage through grief and healing. It was actually about 2008 in the financial horrors that we had at that time, the breakdown. But as Sean Penn said, who has this relief for Haiti, he said, Mother Earth, we've got to come to balance with it and honor and heal this earth we live upon. So there is a way of communicating through possible pains. There's a lot yet out. The jury is out. Okay, blessings to everybody. Do subscribe. And thank you so much